blah, 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 but I'm trying to do the damn
Uh-oh,
thing.
here it comes. Here it comes. There we go. All right, we're live. We are live here today, just in case you can't find a meeting and you need to get stuff off your chest with all this coronavirus craziness going on. So how's it going out there? How's everybody doing? How's everybody surviving this madness, this unique situation we find ourselves in that we've never lived through before in our lifetime? Maybe our grandparents, or maybe your grandparents. But I'm not sure. How you feeling? How you doing? If anybody wants to join me live, let me know. I'm going to try to get some people from Facebook on here. I'm going to try to go live all week this week. And you never know. I may go live for a full day. Just hang out with y'all all day and see what happens. So as we get into this, I'm going to jump on Facebook here real quick and see if anybody wants to join live. Who's watching? Who's out there watching right now? Throw me a comment. Say what's up. Like my background? I took that picture Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon, we went on a hike. I got some more pictures I'll load up back there. I can show you guys that I did. I'm kind of proud of. It turned out really nice. Let me post this on here. I'm going to hit up some people in my text message. See if we can get some people jumping on here live with us. Turn Sober James back on for a second. See what he's saying. I'm on TikTok now too, blowing up on TikTok. That's kind of a fun little app. You just throw out your thoughts real quick, 1 minute, 15 minute, 12 minute, whatever, or minute, 60 seconds, 15 seconds. How's it going if you just joined? And what's up? You are the only viewer. Say hello to me in the comments. I'm going to text some people and see if maybe they want to join me live. See if I can maybe get Diane or Steve on here. Maybe they might want to come live. Diane, what the heck am I even looking for? Diana. What's going on out there? Are you surviving this coronavirus situation, this funky situation you find yourselves in? We got 3 kids that are doing online school. It's kind of funky. To go live. Ask Steve to. All right, I just texted a friend. We'll see what's going on, everybody. How you handling this coronavirus situation that we found ourselves in? Something unique to our lives. We've never lived through anything like this before. Work is crazy. We had a meeting today and had to cut it in half because we weren't allowed to have more than 10 people in the room. But other than that, things seem normal except for the shelves. Oh, the traffic was really nice on the way to work today. Lanes even went down to 2 lanes, and there was nobody even slowed down. That's how nice traffic was. What a peaceful, wonderful traffic it was today. So if you are on here, throw it in the comments. I'm thinking I'm going to go live all week because of this. All the aftercare programs that I would go to, the NA meetings we go to, the AA meetings that you go to, those have all been canceled this week. As far as I know around here, I don't know if there's any out there. If you do, throw it in the comments and let me know. But as far as I know, there's nothing out there. They want us to stay home and stay isolated until we get through the worst part of this thing. And so we're going to stay here on YouTube live, have people join us. You guys, if you want to come on live right now, throw it in the comment. I'll send you a link and I'll invite you and you can pop on. I'm going to text some friends and see if maybe they want to join. But other than that, we're just going to hang out. And once we get some people on here, we can even start reading some literature like this one down here. How it works. How it works says, rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are wow, that's a big word. Constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are not naturally capable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those, too, who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Honesty is definitely the key. How's it going out there? I'm going to go live all week. We're going to have AA meetings every night this week. You know, tomorrow's the family recovery every Tuesday at 9. We'll probably jump on at 8. What's up, buddy?
Oh, I was just going to tell you.
Amos is talking to me right now. Come say hi. Careful what you kick.
So, guys, how y'all doing?
That's Amos James. That's my oldest son. He's got the fro pick going on today. Come around here.
Who?
Look at Megan. Look how cute Megan is.
I forgot to say, though. So, when I was doing homework today on the computer, Zan texts you and he says, there's a movie he wanted you to watch that's on Hulu.
It's called Yesterday. Should have watched it yesterday.
I know, huh?
So who's out there watching right now? We got 3 viewers. Say hello. Let's talk. I'm going to keep reading through this, how it works, to give it kind of more of an official meeting feel. It continues to say, our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we want or what we have and you are willing to go to any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. At some of these, we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was null until we let go absolutely. Let's go through this and kind of break it down as we go. We can even talk about what some of this is meaning. I'm going to start over. This is how it works. So if you've never been to an AA or an NA meeting, they usually read this. It'll go around the circle. Somebody will volunteer to read this, and they'll come to them. I've asked a friend to read how it works. And they'll introduce themselves. Hi, I'm LT. I'm an alcoholic. Hi, LT. Hi. And then they read it. So rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Not halfly, not half-heartedly, just like the big book says. Half measures availed us nothing, but people who thoroughly follow the path. If you fail to work the program, you fail. You must work the program. So rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. The people that do not recover, who cannot or will not completely give, you have to give yourself over. You have to do something else. It's a complete change of who you are or who you want to become, because you have to let go of who you've been. That's what got you where you were. It's what got me where I was. Fifths deep in a bottle of whiskey. Insanity. All right, then it says, perfect. So Diana says that she will jump on here with us. She said she'll be home in 10 minutes. So as soon as she gets home, I'll send her a link. I'm going to tell her this right now. I'll send you a link on Facebook. And then she can jump on. If you remember watching an interview I had with 2 ladies, she was the first one to tell her story, Diana, in One Chick, 2 Chicks, 1 Addiction interview. Really good interview. If you know anybody that needs to see that, share it with them. All right, so that don't completely give themselves to this simple program, usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. So not only do you got to quit lying to the people you've been lying to, you have to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. How do you do that? How do you look in the mirror and stop lying to yourself? Stop saying, oh, it isn't that bad. Oh, I'm not hurting that many people. Oh, my family, it's not that bad. You know, lying, stealing, cheating for drugs and alcohol. Oh, sticking needles in my arms. It's okay. It's not that bad. I mean, come on, think about it. What other things do we have to quit lying to ourselves about? Our character defects. When are we being too... I need to get my book out. Where's my backpack? Hey, Linky, will you go grab my backpack out of my truck, please? Here, it's unlocked. How you guys like my picture? Look at my cool puppy. Where is it? I like you, my cool puppy. I took those pictures Sunday. We went on a hike. It was a nice day. Rained on us a little bit cloudy. Wasn't too cold. I like the cold, though. I'm chunky and hairy. So. But you got to be honest with yourself. Those are the people that can't do that, the ones that fail. They're not at fault. They seem to have been born that way, is what it says on the how it works. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those, too, who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Like, let's get in here and dig into some literature.
What's up, recovering people?
Oh, look at that. You poking Megan?
Yeah, with my super sharp stick.
So in this packet here, in my IOP, I had to go through. I had to do a quiz. I had to do another quiz. Then they make you read the first 164 pages. For me, it was Alcoholics Anonymous. If you are more of the addict that does the hard drugs, slamming, whatever, they'll make you read the first 100 and some, I think it's 90, maybe even be 90 pages of NA. And then you have a quiz that you must complete. And then after I did the 2 quizzes, then I did the big book reading. I did step 1. One of my videos I'm going to read this. So I had to do this whole packet. This is step 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. And then it goes through a bunch of questions so that by the end, you prove that you were powerless. And I'm going to start making videos. It'll be a 12-part series on the 12 steps as I go through them. And I will read this whole thing out loud, which is very honest, open, and revealing. So therefore, I am waiving my anonymity. It's gone. Because I'm here to help. I'm here to help somebody that is suffering. I'm here to help somebody who knows somebody that's suffering and wants to help. Oh, yeah. And then I had to do a relapse. I had to redo that because I drank whiskey. Whatever. Then I did step 2. Then I did my life story. And then character defects. This is what we have to, this is what I was digging for here. Character defects, being honest. Can you be honest with yourself? The first paragraph of how it works is completely about honesty. Rarely have we seen a person failed who has thoroughly followed our path. And then the next 4 or 5 sentences are talking about people who are honest, completely give themselves to a simple program. Are you capable of being completely honest? And the people that recover have the capacity to be honest. Hi, Link. Hi, Millie. So when you look in the mirror and you look at character defects, let's see if this gives a definition of a character defect. So like resentment. Resentment makes my life unmanageable by keeping me locked into the belief that I have been wronged until they make it up to me. I can't get over it. This inhibits me from moving on in my life and keeps me hanging on to unresolved emotions that prevent me from finding inner peace. Resentment. That was an example of how your life is unmanageable through resentment. So how do you be honest when you're with yourself when you have a character defect like impatience? Impatience is lack of patience, annoyance because of delay or opposition, restless eagerness to go somewhere or do something. So this had me give an example, and this is where you got to be honest. How am I impatient? You may think you earned the right, which gets you into that self-importance thing, to be impatient, that you deserve something that nobody else deserves. So here's the example they give so that I could give my reality. So here's the example. I got impatient when waiting at the liquor store after the 4th of July weekend. I got very agitated with my wife, started an argument, ended up wasting the morning by stomping around until it was time to go to the store. So here's how one of my impatience was. After drinking a pint and not being drunk enough, instead of waiting for a ride to the liquor store, I would drive myself. I could have got a DUI or worse. That's an extreme measure of impatience. Impatience can go right into the traffic jams and all that kind of stuff. But how are you honest with yourself? Are you honest with yourself with impatience? What about procrastination? How does procrastination look in your life? To put off doing something that should be done now until a future time. How it works: you will rarely fail if you follow a path, and the path is honesty. And honesty is getting in touch and having what's that called when you see yourself? Self-awareness and what you do and how you react in situations. And that is procrastination. How's your procrastination? If there was a pill for that, would you take it tomorrow? Kind of thing. That's so funny. Let's look at another one. And I have a whole bunch of examples. I had to write for all 17 character defects I'm going to mention here today as we go through this, how it works. I had to write, so procrastination, for example, I had to write 2 examples of when I was drinking or using. I had to write 2 examples of when I was clean and sober. And then I had to write 3 examples on procrastination currently in my post alcoholic addiction state. Huh? Yeah. So procrastination. And I had to be honest. If I wasn't honest, I wouldn't have made it through. Will you bring me a Fresca?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Want another freezer or something?
I think it's in the fridge.
Yeah.
We still got Sober James talking? Oh, yeah. All right, so continuing on with what you need to be honest about. Laziness. Are you lazy?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
I know you are, babe. Here's an example that this paper gives us of laziness. Last Monday, I found myself being very lazy. I wasn't really tired or down, but I just did not want to get out of bed to take a shower, let alone do anything for my kids, like fixing them lunch. Yeah, so my first one I did by drinking or using, sometimes I would not take a shower before I drank. So I'd get home from work. First thing I wanted to do, after work was a mad race, impatiently, to the liquor store, getting that whiskey as fast as I could and getting home. And anything that interrupted how fast I could get here and start drinking, I'd throw a fit. And then I'd get home and start drinking without taking a shower, without cooking, without doing anything responsible. I would just start drinking immediately, sit down behind this computer back when I didn't use this computer for productive reasons, and sit there, get drunk, not shower, and pass out, wake up the next day, not shower, and go to work. What's up, Mark? How you doing today? Hey, Mama of Kenny. I've been rambling. Not many people have been on. I know Sober James went live today because of the coronavirus. I decided to go live as well. I went an hour after him. I didn't want to step on his toes or anything. And I'm going to go live all week. And right now I'm going through how it works. So when you have this, I kind of want it to be more like a meeting atmosphere. If you guys want to join me, let me know. Diana from one of my meetings is going to be on in probably 15 minutes or maybe 10. When she gets home, I'm going to send her the link on Facebook. She was one of the girls in the interview, and we'll have her come on live and check in with her and see how she's doing. But in the meantime, I've pulled up how it works, and we're reading through that. And what we basically just have found out is that it says, rarely we have seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. And then the rest of the sentences, there's 5 or 6 more sentences in that paragraph, are about honesty. If you can't be completely open and honest, it says that they are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. You have to be completely honest. And so back in my IOP, I had to go through this character defects packet, 17 character defects. I had to write 7 examples, 2 drunk, 2 using, and then 2 when I was clean and sober, and then 2 currently and post addiction. And so we're just looking at some character defects and how we can be more honest with those character defects. So far, we've hit laziness, procrastination, impatience. Right now, we are looking at criticizing. And an example of criticizing. Oh, thank you. I took that picture Sunday. So I got some more pictures in queue that I took that I wanted to show you guys too. I'm a photographer. Who's coughing? What are you coughing about? So I took some pictures. I wanted to show you guys later too. Then I'll throw them up back here. But that's one of them. That's my dog. You've seen her around. I'm a photographer on the side. I do all the photography stuff. But how it works, what do you guys think about that? What do you think about rigorous honesty with criticizing? Here's the example it gives to help you start writing your own down. Criticizing. It says, I was very critical of the counselor, Dave. He was confronting my dishonesty over the last few days in group. To try to save face with my friends here, I was finding anything possible to talk negatively about him to make myself look better. Yep. So I put one from when I was drinking. My friend Brandon, he would come over and confront me about the fact that I had a problem with alcohol, which was good for him. He's a good, true friend. And then I would turn it around because I know him as long as he's known me and focus on his faults and try. And I was critical of him because I was being offended, I guess you want to say. What's the other better word? Yeah, that's true, Merc. If you're lying in recovery, it will end bad. What's that saying? How does that go? We're only as healthy. Oh, she's on here. I'm going to send it. We're only as healthy as our deepest secrets or something like that. Okay, I'm going to send this to her real quick. We'll jump on with her. We'll continue this discussion. Oh, you guys, I'm going to make videos of my homework assignments that I had to do while I was in group. I had to go through step 1, step 2. I had to do a relapse thing. I had to do all kinds of cool craziness stuff. So let me get my keyboard back over here. Get Facebook pulled up. If it's not pulled up, it's got to be pulled up somewhere. Now we'll just throw it right there. That'll work. So let me hit invite. Copy this link. Find Diana, wherever she might be. Come on. Shoot a message. Command V, for those of you who don't know. Command C is copy, Command V, or if you're on a other type of PC, it's Control C, Control V for copy paste. If you didn't know, now you know. Okay, I'm gonna tell her it's sent, and she should be joining us any second. Now I gotta put my headphones on so I can hear her. Okay, there we go. It's sent, so she should be coming back around. Until she pops in, let's continue to read some of this, how it works. Let's see. We already went through that. Some of us, we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. So on top of being honest, you have to let go. Because if you think about it, you're becoming a completely different person. You're here. I just sent you a message on Facebook. I'll just stay here. I'll send it right here. And then just click it from here. Capiche? What's up, Maddie? Due to this coronavirus lockdown, I'm going to go live every night. I'm going to show you guys some of my photography. We're going to have special guests like Diana here. What's up, Ashley? Nice to meet you, too. Tuesdays, we go family group. My wife joins us because I'm the addict and she is not. And she'll let you know exactly what it was like dealing with this addict, alcoholic. All right. Just click that link, Diana. Just click it. Click it. And so Tuesday night, we will be live as a family for our family recovery night, kind of an Al-Anon based, if you have questions or if you have a loved one that wants to know how it works. And then we'll have the rest of the night, we will go through some of my homework. We'll talk and break down things like how it works. Today, we're breaking down how it works. So when she's not on here as a special guest, we'll go right back to this. Because how it works is we rarely see people fail who are completely honest. Click it. The motorhome's running. Should probably shut that off. So where are you from, Ashley? It's nice to meet you as well. And we got Matt hanging out, Diana, Felice, Merck. Yeah. Yeah, hit that thumbs up if you love being sober. Ding! No doubt about it. I did have a craving to drink the other day when I was in the store, though. And it's not because I passed the beer or anything. I was just almost like this, you know, when you get that effort attitude. I was like, screw it. Screw it, man. The coronavirus is coming. What are we going to do when all those people who died from coronavirus start popping back to life? I was like, let's drink. Zombies are coming.
Zombie.
Oh, it's Mama of Kenny and Ohio. Who's Ohio? I'm behind on my thing, so I'm sitting here reading its comments or reading how it works. Love how it works. It's funny, we sit in these meetings and we read this literature over and over and over again. We almost have it memorized, but do we ever like stop and think about it? I'm going to read this first paragraph again, just so it feels like we're in a meeting. Okay, everybody? I'm LT and I'm an alcoholic. Thank you. Thank you. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. Ooh. You hear that? So a person doesn't fail. Rarely do you see people fail who follow it thoroughly. And then you got those that are such unfortunates that cannot be rigorously honest, and their chances are less than average. So the first thing we got to tell people, hey, you want to be sober, you want to get clean, are you willing to be rigorously honest? Because that's how it works. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorder, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. I've read that first paragraph about 10 times today, and I'm glad we did. Columbus, nice. How's the coronavirus treat Columbia or Columbus? Oh, sweet. You guys should meet in the middle and go say hi to each other. Friends in sobriety or become family eventually, it seems like to me. So if you just joined us, I'm going through how it works. I'm going to be live all week, and I may just go live like all day one day. I'm not even kidding. I'll let you hang out with me all day. But what I want to do is break down this literature. Just think about it, read it, chew on it, and then just kind of talk about it. And right now we're waiting for Diana to pop on. I don't know what happened. I sent her the link. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It seems like it's a pain in the butt. But until then, we're going to keep continuing to go through this, how it works. Then it'll really feel like we're in a meeting, hopefully. I am in Utah, Mama. Mama! I'm in Utah. So if you go about 30 to 45 minutes north of Salt Lake, there's a mountain called Ben Lomond. Beautiful mountain. Maybe I have a picture of it. Let me see. I don't think I do. No, I don't. Or maybe there's the backside. Here's another picture I took Sunday. I thought that barn was kind of cool. But I live in the foothills, not of this mountain. But if you were to go to Ben Lomond, I live about up at this high on the mountain. It's a nice area. And I live on a freshwater spring. Can you imagine that? My basement used to flood. It is pretty here. Utah has gorgeous, gorgeous scenery. So all week, I'll be here. Real talk. What's up, Nicole? We're going through how it works right now. We just read that first paragraph about rigorous honesty. And then I went through some of my homework and we talked about character defects and are we willing to be honest with? Because if we can't get honest, if we're not honest, it ain't going to work. That's what it says on how it works. And then the second paragraph says, our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like. See, there's that transition. If you can't become honest because you're ripping off who you used to be and becoming somebody new. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have and you're willing to go to any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. And that first certain step is complete honesty. Sorry, I keep texting. I'm trying to get Diana on here. You're so confused. Okay, Diana, stay on. If you hear me, give me a thumbs up. I'm going to post that link right here in these comments, in these live comments, and just click it. Just click it. Command V, enter. Oh, sweet. And that's 7 o'clock your time, right? Because I noticed James was on here today too, and I didn't want to overlap him. And if you're at 7, that means it's 9, 7, 6. That means it's 5 my time. And if I come on at 8, that means people will be able to go from yours to James and then to mine. And they could have meetings all day with all of us. That's awesome. We could all work together. Why? What's my saying? First person to type it in the comment gets 10 points. If you can say my key tag or whatever you call it. And you guys in the back watching, no cheating. Oh, we have Diana in the back room. We have a very, very special guest, folks. She is backstage right now. I see her daughter or son, one of the two. It's on a little small thing. So let's welcome Diana.
Hi, guys. Oh, it's
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't think she can hear us, guys. I heard you for a second. I think you muted something. Turn up your volume. Do you guys remember Diana? Have you guys seen the video where she came on and Diana, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Let me make sure. Yeah, I got all my speakers up. Oh, hold on. Now talk. What the crap? Hold on. Why is it always so difficult right in the very beginning? Are you there? Oh my goodness, now she's gone. I think I did too, because I heard her for a second. Oh no, oh, there she is. Boom. I think you muted yourself. Look at your settings. I think you hit mute. Because we can't hear you. None of us can hear you. Nicole, why is it always this difficult sometimes? Oh, yeah, you muted yourself. Now you're unmuted. And unlike, I watched that one, Nicole, Sober James, he didn't have his speakers on. My speakers are on. I made sure of that. Try it again. Just close out and try it again. I'm going to kick you out. Huh. Oh, well. Where was I? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, we're talking about how it works. Then I went on to some other stuff. No, Felice, you can't. Oh, yeah, the tagline. Anybody know my tagline? And why we all need to be together in these times? Our counselor posted on his Facebook page because our aftercare on Tuesday nights was canceled. Our AA that we go to, or the NA meetings we like to go to on Wednesday, the AA I like to go to on Friday. All those are canceled. All the other stuff, the ones that were at the hospitals, all those are canceled. And his worry is, and I think they shut that place down because you can't meet anywhere if you're over 10 people. And I know that group was gotten big. Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
There you are. Yay.
Finally, I got it figured out.
There you are. Did you see that post that Rick put on there about oh, there's the baby, about how isolation's a real huge cause of relapse on this Facebook page, and we canceled everything.
I know.
That sucks.
Wow. I know. I'm trying to get permission to go to group tomorrow, though.
What group? Oh, are they limiting it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know, though, if they'll let me.
I was in we had a meeting today at work at 2:00, and they had to cut it in half because we had 20 people coming to the meeting. So they took away 10 that we didn't need because the rule is now that people can't meet over a group of 10.
Yeah, it's dumb. I think they need to figure that out because so the Alano Club is closed too now. Did you hear that?
Are you serious?
Yeah, so pretty much the last place that was open is now closed.
Oh man.
Yep.
Oh, Felice got my tagline. We recover better together. So Diana, I'm going live every night while this Corona crap is going on, so that we got 8 people on the chat right now. We got people who've seen your story. If you want to maybe say hi to them and give them a little update of how you're doing. But I'm going to be going live the rest of the week just so that we can come and have something to talk. But yeah, tell everybody what's up. Since your story you told on.
So I think everybody saw my story. Did everybody see it? I don't know. It was so I've been clean now for almost 8 months. So I was pretty sick.
Yeah, you were.
Recovery has saved my life. Working the steps has been amazing. They're upstairs. Why?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Diana and I were actually in IOP together for at least 4.5 months. What were you there? 2-3 weeks longer than me, right, to begin with?
I think maybe a month at the most.
You were there a month before me, and then I showed up. So Diana got to see me at my worst when I was being a punk.
He was kind of a cocky asshole.
I can't believe I was cocky. I didn't. That's messed up.
Yeah, but then now look at you.
Yeah, I'm all about that recovery life.
I know, me too. Pretty amazing.
I love it. So we both transitioned out of our IOP pretty much at the same time. You want to tell everybody how you're doing now that you don't have that cushion of 3.5 hours a night, 5 days a week to lean on?
I'm actually doing really well. I have I have to keep myself busy. I work, so I work a little extra hours now, which is good. And then in the evenings, that I have my kids, I'm with my kids, and me and my daughter just went to the gym, which is cool.
Totally risking
And
school.
one of my big things that I do every day to make sure I'm still staying in the recovery mind, is I write at least one question, sorry, my daughter's really loud. One answer on my steps every night. And I usually end up writing like 3 or 4, but
Oh, that's good.
yeah, so I'm just about done with step 7. So, but it's good. It's definitely like a transition. I still go to a group like twice a week. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go this week, but that's why this is gonna be cool. Because if we can't go to group and we can't go to meetings, so this will be awesome.
Yeah, I can have 3 people on here at once too, so we could have 3 people chit chatting while we answer questions in the comments. Because I can throw. How many of you seen? If you have seen her story, let me know, and I'll show you how I can throw. Well, you can see what Nicole said right there, right? And then Felice said,
"Oh, there, okay." I'm seeing like comments. I think they're coming up a little later though now.
"Are you seeing the live comments as well?"
I see Felice said we cover better together, but you said that a while ago.
Yeah, I threw that one up, so I can throw them up on the screen so that we can all chit chat together.
I can't see the live comments.
Okay, that's okay. I'll keep us all in the loop because I can control what we all see. So yeah, we'll do this all week. And tomorrow night's the family one. Do you think Steve wants to do it?
Oh, I'm sure Steve will. I think that I'll probably have to help him do it, but I'll see him tomorrow night.
Sweet.
Because obviously I was like struggling for a minute trying to figure it out, but yeah, Steve would be awesome at this.
Oh, I'd love to hear what he's got to say. He's what is he?
Got a
6
lot
years
of
sober
story.
now.
Yep, 6 years and a couple months.
Awesome.
So pretty cool. Yep.
What's up, dude?
My kids think this is pretty awesome. No, we were just talking about, me and my daughter were talking about it. At this time last year, it was getting really bad in my addiction. I think I was going through like 90 pills like in less than 2 weeks. So it was getting pretty intense. So it's cool to be in this place now, be present and happy, and yep, recovery's awesome.
I agree. You get to be an awesome grandma now to your baby.
I know, it's so fun. Yeah, that's a lot of what I do in my spare time. My kids actually think that I like the grandbaby more.
Babies always get the most attention.
A little bit. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Millie wants us to have a baby. I told her, no way, Jose. No. Done with that.
How many? I can't see like who's all on here. So how many people are from Utah?
It's been going from 6 to 10. So we got Nicole from Recovery or Real Talk Recovery. We got Merck. We got Mama of Kenny. I'm not sure who's still on here. If I know Felice is watching.
Hi, Felice.
And then there's about 2 or 3 people who will watch and not ever comment. So they're like little sneakers. You don't get to know who they are. Little sneaky guys.
You cut out.
Mama of Kenny's watching. Merck says he's still here. See that? Boom.
Oh, okay. I see. Hi, Merck.
And then we got Mama of Kenny saying she's watching.
Hi, Mama.
And Ashley will make it. She's watching. What's up, Ashley?
Yes, you will make it.
Tell Ashley. Oh, Matt's here too.
Matt, which Matt?
Matt Scaff 13. He goes like this.
Like that.
Yeah, so tell these guys that haven't been able to go back and watch that. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Oh, Rosie D's here too.
Okay,
look what she said.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna screenshot that because I feel so special.
That's cool.
Those of you that didn't watch my story, I'm 39. I'm the mom of 3. I was addicted to Adderall in the beginning and then opiate painkillers. and I had a boyfriend that would give me his and would just leave him for me. And that turned into a manipulation thing, and I was super addicted to them at the time. Last year, and let's see, it was December of 2018, I got my own prescription. I went to pain management. Pain management is bad. It's bad. In fact, when I went into the ER the day I decided to quit, the ER doctor said everybody that's in pain management will become addicted. So it was, I was crazy addicted. I was taking 90, my prescription was a month, and I was, in the end, I went through 90 in like, and then I was getting more.
Keep talking. I'll be right back. Just keep telling them what you went through.
So probably like a couple hundred a month usually. So pretty grateful to be alive. Do I have an email, Ashley? I don't have time. Anyway, so says I have a TikTok. But so it got pretty intense, and then I ran out of pills and I couldn't get any from anybody else, and I was praying all night long to help me get the pill date, and I just changed my prayer and said help me to get help. So I walked upstairs, told my mom that I was addicted, told everybody, went to the ER in Brigham City, and they tried to get me into detox in Ogden because there's not a lot of things in Box Elder County. If you guys aren't from Utah, it's just a small county, and there's not a lot of recovery stuff there. So I did it cold turkey. Withdrawals at home were a bitch, but it sounds crazy. I'm so grateful they were so bad. Oh yeah, Adderall's horrible, Mert. They're pretty addictive. So yeah, completely cold turkey. Super sick. I'm so grateful they were so bad because I have that in the back of my head at all times. So, but yeah, and I started at Action Recovery in Ogden, and that's been a godsend. I was there in the main group for a little over 6 months. So I've only been out for like a few weeks, maybe a month. Maybe?
Probably like a month and a half.
Now,
Yeah.
It was February 17th. So yeah, I've been out for a month, but I still make myself go twice a week. We have a continuing care that we go to on Tuesdays. I go the nights I don't have my kids, just to kind of ease myself back into the world, but I'm doing really good. So
You're doing amazing, I think.
I think you're doing amazing too.
Thank you.
I definitely don't want to ever go down that path again. That was a horrible.
No.
Ugh. The stress, the anxiety, the fear every day you're waking up. I was telling my daughter, I said, towards the end, they didn't do anything for me. It was just taking them so I didn't get sick. So I didn't go through withdrawals. So nasty little things.
Yeah, that's stupid how. Oh, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
Closing back doors. That's been a huge one for me. I told everybody about it. I still don't talk about it a lot on Facebook to protect my kid and the judgment they may get in this small, tiny town. But I told everybody that I got them from that they are never to give them to me again. Even if I beg, I got them put on my allergy list. All narcotics put on my allergy list at a doctor. So, yep.
What tool is that?
What?
What tool is that, putting them on your allergy list at the doctor?
Oh, what? It's scary. Are you asking
No.
like
what kind of? I'm asking to tell the tool that you used.
I don't know.
Closing the back. There you go. Got to
back
close those
door.
back doors.
And that one was scary because I'm like, gosh, what if I have to have some major surgery later on, or but lots of people have surgery and don't take opiates.
Yeah.
So didn't you had a surgery and didn't take opiates, right?
I never liked opiates. luckily.
Yeah.
I had my ACL done. If you see, I got this big scar right here on my knee. So I had my ACL done and was like, nope, I'll just take ibuprofen 800. I'm good. Because when I did take them,
Yeah.
I've taken them before, but they just instantly make me sick. I hate the way it
Yeah.
tingles, and itches. Ugh, hate that.
Yeah.
I'd rather sniff a big old gagger.
I didn't like them, but after a while they took a hold. So, but yeah, that's closing those back doors is a huge thing, and then staying connected to recovery. I liked our action recovery group because you could still like. I was gonna do inpatient, like inpatient. I'm kind of glad I didn't do that because I was able to like work and get back to life. And at the end of the day, I had my recovery every night, so I kind of got to do real life again and then recover at the same time. So, but I mean, there's different things for everybody. Some people do it with NA or AA, which is awesome. But for me, that was the program.
I agree. That program was amazing. I wish everybody could go to Action. I've only been to one treatment place, but I feel like it's the best one in the whole world. Merck says he's had 2 surgeries on recovery, no pills, no problem. Yeah, you're fading out.
Yeah, it's like it's all glitchy.
Oh, there you are.
Can you hear me?
I wonder how your Wi-Fi is out there. Yeah, I can hear you barely. Are we glitchy back there, you guys?
I can
It's your Wi-Fi, D. I think it's your Wi-Fi, Diana.
Oh, I said my Wi-Fi's so good. It says Merck says I've had 2 surgeries on recovery, no pills, no problem. See, that's awesome.
What are you doing? Oh, I think we lost her. You might have to try to click in again, Diana. Oh, she might be back. And when she comes back strong, she keeps freezing up. I think her Wi-Fi is. Oh, here we go. She looks like she's back. You back? Nope. Yeah, staying safe and sober. The scary thing is because isolation could lead to these thoughts, and these thoughts could lead us to using. Are you back, Diana? Can you hear us good? I'm going to take that as a no. We'll pull her off until she gets back. I agree. Let's do it. I posted mine everywhere. I posted mine on Facebook. I posted mine on Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. You guys want to see some cute pictures of her that I took today? Watch this. Let me get it. Watch out. Back out of the way. We went up to the mountains hiking Sunday. Went up there talking and all that good stuff. Hiking.
Yeah, hiking.
Hiking and hanging out and taking pictures because that's what we do. I'm a photographer. I love this one.
The snow was so deep.
This is probably my favorite one we took that day.
Yeah, it looks like I'm leaning down to a little kid. There's a thing like, are you supposed to be here?
Yeah. Let's look at another one. I really
Okay.
like.
Wait, go down. That one's the one. That's the one that I like.
You like this one?
Mm-hmm.
We better get out of the way. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, but there was hair in my face, and I had to tickle my nose.
I like your hair, and it looks nice. Whoa. Let's pull up this one. I like this one, too.
I don't know.
That one turned out really cool. Ugh. She happened to be wearing that red coat and the contrast.
Wait,
The
Dad, you want me
snow
to go
was
get the
really,
one?
really nice.
Want me to go get the coat?
If you want to.
Be right back.
And she's off. Yeah, I like that one. That one turned out really good. Oh, you okay?
Yep.
She's so excited to show you guys her coat that she ran back in here and fell. Little Red Riding Hood.
Okay, here.
There's her coat. The amazing coat.
Has a little bow on it. My toe hurts. I tripped over my toe too. Right there for now. My toe hurts.
All right. So we just had Diana. Unfortunately, her Wi-Fi shut off, or not her Wi-Fi, but her connection to us got disconnected after a second. She's completely out of the backstage now. It just froze and bounced. So we can go back into how it works. And character defects. So we went through the first paragraph of how it works and decided that it takes complete and rigorous honesty, or you're most likely not going to make it. And we read the second paragraph. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you've decided you want, what we have, and you're willing to go to any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. Got some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way. We're always looking for the easy way out. The attic is like water. It just finds the easiest path. But we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us had tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Basically, what it says, those first 3 paragraphs of how it works, if you follow this, you're not going to fail. You have to be completely honest about who you are in the present of your addiction, who you want to become, and realize that those two are completely opposite. If you want to be over here on this side of recovery, you cannot be anything of who you were in your active addiction, because they're complete opposites. This person cannot mesh with this person at all, period. You can't have those same thought processes. And so that's why when you get honest, you have to be honest with your character defects. We went through, the last one we went through was criticizing. The next one on the list is false pride. Can anybody give me a description of false pride? I use the drag, and then it's got the Prince tank. Or no, it's not the Prince. Crown something. Honestly, open-mindedness and willingness are keys to sobriety. That's true. I mean, how it works, we sit in these meetings and we hear these things read over and over and over. But I love to sit and think and chew on them. You know what that's called? Meditation. So false pride. Somebody throw me what's false pride? I had a tough time with this. I was like, false pride? What the heck is, I know pride. I'm proud if you come and try to tell me I'm an addict and my pride gets in the way and I don't want to admit it. Geek vape. You like it, Merc? I like this one. This one's pretty good. And my flavor is caramel cappuccino. That's my yum yum. And then, so false pride. This is false pride. I'll just read it to you since nobody wants to post what they think it is. So false pride, any pride in self that is dishonest, not based on true, honest appraisal of self. Here's an example of it. It was false pride when I thought it was cool when Sally told me that I had a reputation for being the biggest tweaker in school. The truth is I had to use every day, whether I wanted to or not, and it was not great at all when my life was going down the tubes. Another thing of false pride is if you say you're standing next to a car that's really nice and it's not yours, but somebody walks up and thinks it's yours and says, "Hey, nice car," and you'd actually take pride in that and go, "Hey, thank you." That's kind of that's what helped me with understanding what false pride is. Pride has to do with so much. It does. Pride. So I'm going to recap what I had to do So there's 17 character defects on this paper, and during my IOP, I had to go through all 17. I had to give 2 examples of how this character defect affected me while I was using. I had to give 2 examples of when I was sober and clean, and then I had to give 3 of currently, like right in that current moment. So, like one of mine while I was drinking, one of my false prides that I used, I said, on multiple occasions, I was proud that I could not drink. I could outdrink my friends and not get sick. I still ended up making an ass out of myself and became blackout drunk. But I took pride. Oh, I can outdrink it, and I could. None of my friends who tried to keep up with me at a party fared well with drinking with me. I got some pictures and videos to prove it. That's true, Alan. Not asking for help because you falsely think you can do that. I did that for a long time. I tried to do the whole, I knew how dangerous it was to come off of how much I was drinking. And I did the whole, I can wean myself off. I don't think I ever made it past the first try. So my plan was to cut it in half each day. I'd go get a pint. Okay, I'm just going to drink 1 pint, then tomorrow a half, and blah, blah, blah. As soon as I got through that first pint, I was browbeating my wife to take me to the liquor store, or I'd just drive myself like an idiot. I used to get cocky when I didn't feel drunk after a pint. Be like, look at me, man. I drink a whole pint. I'm not even drunk yet. I'm so cool. So you got to be honest. This is the kind of honesty you have to get through. You have to take each character defect. The next one on the list is self-importance. How have you been self-important lately? And these are character defects we have to work on daily throughout, every day, every week. Be honest with ourselves in the moment. That's where step 10 comes in, promptly admitting it, taking personal inventory. What is this inventory we take? It's our character defects. We take that inventory and we correct it immediately as soon as we see it. And so number 6 on our list is self-importance. Self-importance is having or giving an exaggerated opinion of importance. Let's see what Merck said here real quick. He said, relapsing and being proud of your sobriety date. What do you mean by that? Relapsing and being proud of your sobriety date? I don't get it. I need to quit. This chair is so squeaky. It's probably worse on my headphones, but. So here's an example of self-importance. And this is the example. So they would lead off with an example, and then we had to give 7 examples of our own. I had self-importance the other day at the nurse's station when the nurse told me to hold on because she had to help me detox a patient. I thought that what I needed was more important, and I put it off until she made me. And I was put off that she made me wait. So self-importance is exactly, you think you're more important than anything going on around you. Yeah. I never made it, ever. I think it was just an excuse to get my wife off my back. And she wasn't really on my back, but maybe it was just my guilty conscience saying, oh, if I tell her this, and it kind of gets into self or false pride there too, huh? Oh, if I tell her this, then I'll be able to drink that night with no intentions, deep down inside, no intentions of ever really trying to quit. Let me see if I can read one of mine to you. One of my examples. So number 2 on here, I was practicing self-importance when I would have my wife drive me to the liquor store when I knew how she felt about it, and she hated it. That's what I wrote down. Self-importance, me being me and having what I have and wanting what I want is more important than you. Self-importance. So how do we display those things in our everyday life, and how can we combat them? Let's see. Merck says, Say you have a year and you relapsed at 8 months. People congratulate you on your year and you feel proud. Oh, yeah. That's false pride. That is a better description of false pride than, and then you go around like high-fiving people like, yeah, look at me. But back here, that's the road to relapse. If you find yourself in that situation that Merck put up there, you are going completely against how it works, because how it works, the first paragraph, memorize that first paragraph. People that do that don't have the capacity to be honest. And those are the people who fail. That is a great example of false pride. Wow. I'm gonna use that one a lot. Alan says, being proud of being alcohol free for a long time and actually picking up medallions and being hooked on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I actually know someone that picked up a 10-year medallion that was hooked on opioids. Oh man. So people that don't understand the abstinence part of it, that was our thing in our group, and our IOP was anything that was mind altering. We had to actually clean our houses out. We had to go through and get wine glasses, shot glasses, anything, nasal decongestants that had the D, like the Claritin D, nose spray, anything. We had a whole list of stuff we weren't allowed to take, anything that was mind altering. Mark's seen that a lot in early recovery. Most of them are on the streets. Yeah. It's because it doesn't work like that. How it works tells us how it works. And it's not like that. Not like that at all. Okay, let's go back to how it works. It says, remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful. Without help, it is too much for us, but there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. So what you guys are talking about is half measures. How are you going to go around telling people you're a year clean when you're only 8 months clean, or high on pills at a AA meeting, getting high five because you didn't drink? That's the addict mind, though. That's where our addict thoughts take us. And then it goes into the 12 steps. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable, all the way through 12. What are your guys' thoughts on how it works? We'll go through some more character defects as well. I'm going to change the picture to my dog. I like this picture too. She turned out pretty. Self-importance. So how are you practicing self-importance in your daily life? And then how are you correcting it? How are you taking personal inventory and promptly admitting it? Let's see if I can tell you another one. Oh, yeah. So here's one about traffic. I'm so important that I drive in the fast lane. I ride the person's butt in front of me, because where I need to go and how fast I need to get there is more important than that guy. Diana, she said her phone died. Oh, when I walk into a fast food restaurant, I would see the place not being properly ran, not fast enough for me anyway. And I would leave and go somewhere else, even though the family wanted to eat. And they probably didn't care to wait anyway. But who's more important? Me. Self-importance right here. And there's a range. There's a whole bunch of examples. What's another character defect? Ooh, here's one. Self-condemnation. A lot of people get stuck in this one. Blaming yourself inaccurately or putting yourself down. There's a lot of people that do this. Here's an example that the pamphlet here gives. Last night, while in the kitchen, I started thinking about not owning my own house yet. I started condemning myself for being a 35-year-old loser. I began thinking I would never be able to be married, as no one would want me, and I can't even manage to get my own house. I think last week, I don't know if you guys saw my video on perspective. That video was driven out of self-condemnation in a sense, or more self-pity. Not happy where I found myself or contentment, but it was more or less self-condemnation. I was like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? I should be doing that. And whatever. What's up? If you just joined us, we're going through character defects and we're breaking down how it works from AA meetings. I'll be on here live all week long, starting at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow's our family live, but I'm going to jump on and start it an hour earlier than usual because of the meetings around here completely canceled. I'm sure that through the nation, they're doing the same thing. And so we'll be live all week. We're going to break down how it works tonight. We'll have a special guest pop in and say hello, give us a little piece of advice from their life and their sobriety, and then continue to break it down until we get bored and then go to bed and stay in sober because we recover better together. So we just went through self-condemnations. Any of you feeling that self-condemnation? You beating yourself up over things that you probably shouldn't beating yourself up? Because if you look at the definition, it's blaming yourself inaccurately. You're not being accurate. And a great tool to combat this is gratitude. When you start looking at the stuff you don't have, that's when you start condemning yourself. But if you just take a step back and look at the stuff that you do have, will change your perspective. And the fact that you're alive and healthy, that you're able to hold your phone like this or look on your computer and none of us got the virus, that's good. Oh, so when I had to do this assignment, I had to do self-condemnation. And my first one for current was I was pissed at my dumbass self because of my current situation of being here every night instead of having my shit together and being at home. So I was in group reading this out loud instead of being at home and a responsible person, but I was an alcoholic addict that had to go to treatment. What a loser. And that was being I wasn't accurately assessing myself. Sure, it was a bad situation, but I was doing the right thing, getting help. I was doing the right thing, taking the steps it says to take, being honest, working the program, working the 12 steps, changing how I see myself and not thinking like I used to think and moving on. The next one is dishonesty. Being dishonest with yourself and others, misrepresenting facts, also looking at dishonesty by omission. Omission are things that you should do, but you don't. Rosie says, always a lot to be grateful for, no matter what the situation is, really. That's true. Diana, she's back in the comments. Self-condemnation was one of my biggest character defects coming into recovery. Not anymore. You wouldn't know it anymore. But I do remember that. I remember that moment that Rick was counseling you. And I don't know, can't remember exactly what he said, but you said a few things and I just seen like your eyes like light up a little bit. Just those little steps of our growth. Those were amazing moments to capture. And Rick was just a ninja, man. It was amazing. Dishonesty. Here's the example the pamphlet gives. I was dishonest with the group on my first day of treatment. I told everyone that I never sold Oxy. The truth is that I did sell it. And in fact, that's how I was supported my habit. Okay, so my first one I put on here is I was very dishonest because the first example you give is while you were using or drinking. And I wrote this down. I was very dishonest during my meth spree. I would steal from houses and cars. I would lure newbies to get high, use their money to buy meth. I'm sure you guys know the game, and give them half of what they actually bought. And then I would help them smoke theirs. And when they would pass out, I'd rob their car and then send them on their way. And they never knew what hit them. Agreed. Rick is amazing. And there was a whole bunch of crap I was dishonest about. For the most part, I'm straight up and tell people how it is. I didn't really hide my drinking. I might have hid how much towards the end, but it didn't matter. Oh, when I relapsed, when I drank that, I put on here in the current, I said, I was not honest with myself when I lapsed. I lied to myself and everyone else. And it was that it was a good thing, even though I thought I was right, it was wrong. I thought it was a good thing. I thought by drinking that half a pint that I was doing myself a favor and proving to myself that I didn't have a problem. And then Rick said, you're in a treatment program because you had a drinking problem. And now you need to drink to prove you don't have a problem. He's like, that makes sense. And then I felt like a real big idiot. Next character defect. Insecurity. Insecurity. How many out there are insecure? Insecurity, to be deceptive and to misrepresent emotions. When I was 20, this is the example, not me. When I was 20, I was engaged to be married to this guy named Joe. I really loved him, but I was afraid of getting hurt. Rather than share this with him, I was insincere by acting like I wasn't very interested. Eventually, he broke it off, and I never saw him again. Insincerity. Oh, yeah. So like 10 years ago or more, me and my buddy Nate, we were hanging out with this other guy, but me and Nate wanted to drink. So we pretended like we were done hanging out and left. And then as soon as he left, Nate came back to my house and we got drunk. Insincerity. Oh man, I'm at work. I'm really insincere at work. I try not to be anymore, but I find myself being insincere when they come up to my desk and start rattling off about their weekend or their families, and I give them the fake smile, the whole thing, like, and really not interested, really not listening. Lately, it's because I'm so busy that I ain't got time to focus on what they're saying. But before, even when I wasn't busy, I'd just be like, "Oh, shut up," and that's insincere. But my face was saying, "Oh, really? Oh, yeah." Insincerity. These are the things we got to battle. These are the things Step 10 tells us to take inventory of daily. And then if we don't do this, how it works tells you that it's not going to work. I want to reread that first paragraph. Chew on it. Think about what we're reading instead of just hearing it like we usually do in the meetings, because it's pretty profound at what it says. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Rarely have they failed if they thoroughly follow the path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. They are such unfortunates. So when I see that sentence right there, you can hear somebody with years of sobriety looking at somebody, and he can see that person is incapable of being honest with themselves. And then you feel his empathy. They are such unfortunate. He looks over, sees a person you know how it is when you're sitting in a room full of addicts. You can't I don't want to swear, but you can't bull crap us, right? We are the biggest. We're full of it. You can't bullshit a bullshitter, and that's us. And they try to feed us full of crap, and we see right through it immediately. And then you can hear the compassion. This guy's looking at that guy feeding the room full of crap, and he's just like, oh, so unfortunate. And it's almost a saddening part of the sentence. They are such unfortunates. But then he kind of has this, they are not at fault. And he kind of feels like there's something deeper going on. They seem to have been born that way. He's almost like you can kind of see him just pondering it. They're naturally incapable at grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. He says it seems like they're born that way and they're naturally incapable. They can't, he like feels sorry for him. He's like, oh, it's unfortunate. Look at him. He's like that. And he can't help himself. Wow, that's crazy. Their chances are less than average. Then he gets back to the meat. Ugh. Then he looks back. Their chances are less than average. There are those two who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders. And then there's those other people. They got emotional and mental disorders, but he doesn't give them the same empathy as the first group of people that he was talking about. But many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. So there's almost three groups of people there. You got the people who fail that don't thoroughly follow it. You got the people who succeed, like us, who follow the rigorously and honest. And then you got the guy that's incapable. Maybe he was born that way. And then you got the people who are suffering from emotional and mental disorders. You got four types of people in that first paragraph there. Have you ever thought about that? That's crazy. What do you guys think? How it works? Rigorous honesty. How do you get through to those who, if they're naturally incapable, if this is gospel truth, and they're naturally incapable, how do you break through to them? Do you just feel empathy for them and you give them all you got and know that the reward of you helping them is, I don't know. Just takes me deeper in there. That's for sure. Chew on it. I hope when you guys go back to meetings, when all this Corona stuff's over, that when you hear how it works, that you hear it differently. I know I will. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you've decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. Wow. Character defects. You willing to be completely honest about your character defects? About self-justification, making excuses for your negative thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and needless explanations of yourself. Making excuses for your negative thoughts. Oh, it's okay because your feelings, behaviors are needlessly explaining yourself. Here's the example. I justified the negative decision to quit my job last October after I had been with this company for 10 years by telling myself that my boss was a big jerk and that Monday more than usual, and that no one deserved being told to work harder. I was left with neither a job nor money for 4 months. Self-justification, thinking a boss was a jerk, left this person without a job or money for 4 months. Here's my first example. I justified every time I drank by telling myself I will quit soon. I denied it. By telling myself that I would quit soon. I was, one day it's going to happen, or you can quit if you could. Yeah. Self-justification is no bueno. Here's another example I give. I justified driving drunk because of the way I felt. Not drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm fine. If I had been pulled over, I would have gotten a DUI, and I could have possibly wrecked and hurt somebody as well. Alan Green. In the beginning, when they wrote the book, they almost put never instead of rarely. Really? Never have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. It's probably more accurate. Is there that one person who did? You know, I hear these comments sometimes. That cult AA, you know, I was clean for 6 months and all I had was a beer, and now they all beat me up and I'm fine now. I even have some friends who had problems with drugs and alcohol who now drink moderately. I don't know how it'll end up for them. I know I can't do it. Is that rarely put there for those people? What do you think they chose rarely instead of never? I like never. Never better. Because it's true. You're not going to change unless you're honest. And what does it take to be honest? It's freaking bravery. You got to be completely super duper brave, like fearless and searching. Wait till you get to step 4. You know what I mean? Fearless and searching. And it's a lifelong thing. It's not just one time. It's not like, oh, there's 12 steps. I'm on the 2nd floor now. The 12 steps, you look and there's 12 more. Then you look and there's 12 more. And they just get deeper and deeper each time you take a step. And you just stay honest with it the whole time because life just continually gets better. You handle things better. You have more empathy towards people. You understand. You see people worried and frustrated about things that don't even bother you anymore. You're just like, really? You're wasting your energy on that? Where before I couldn't see out of that. Things would bother me and frustrate me so bad. I wouldn't even understand how to not feel that. Yeah, that's true. My boss came over to me and was talking about some things that need to change. And I was like, look, you can keep adding to the list of stuff that needs to change, but ain't nothing going to change if nothing changes. Uh-oh, my battery and my camera is going to die. You can probably see that red flashy light. So I am going to just change it out real quick. It's going to go black for a second, and then you'll still hear me. Talk amongst yourselves. Sweet. You want to jump on here and talk for a minute, Nicole? My throat's getting tired. Yeah, that's good. So what should we break down next? We're almost done with how it works. That first sentence, that first paragraph, though, that thing's got me thinking. We can go through how it works. We can go through the 12 steps and talk about all of those. Break it down a little deeper. I'm only on step 7, though, so I don't want to get too deep into those yet. I want to work them, and then after I'm done, I get through step 12. I'm going to go back. I'm going to make videos on everyone and how and what I did to get through them. So after surrender, peaches and cottage cheese. That sounds good. I usually always had pineapple and cottage cheese. I never thought about peaches. It's a good idea. I don't need these anymore. Diana's not here. Why am I still wearing headphones? Nobody's even talking to me on them. I hear nothing on those. Thanks for letting me sit in here and look like an idiot. Jeez, what an idiot. All right, let's look at this last paragraph here. Many of us exclaimed, "What an order! I can't go through with it." Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to process. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our Desperation of the Alcoholic, the chapter to the agnostic, and we could go through those books too. Shut up, Mama. It's not funny. No worries, Nicole. I was just wondering. Rosie, it's not funny. Shut up. Well, I'm like getting a headache from them too. Like, oh, I should take these off. How it works. That's crazy. I love that first paragraph. All right, let's go on to our next character defects. We only have about 8 more to go. Self-pity, distorted thoughts that you are being treated unfairly. Here's the example it gives. I had self-pity when my wife called from Idaho to tell me that she would not be able to come to the center for Sunday visiting. Instead of dealing with my disappointment, I sat in my room all day pouting and thinking how miserable my life was. So now this kind of is more of, if you watched my video on perspective, that video was kind of produced from me living in self-pity. I'm discontent with where I work. I want to do what I want to do full time. I hate having to wake up to an alarm clock like I have to tomorrow and go to a place for 9 hours and do what they want me to do. I want to be selfish, and I was living in self-pity. So an example I gave of, let me see. Okay, so my first one I wrote down was, I went a few months beating myself up for what happened to Link. I felt it was my fault and what happened to him, and I would sob when I was drunk. So I was being self-pity until I figured out what happened to Link was completely out of my control because we are completely powerless. Thank you, Rosie. I'm glad you watched it. Yes, we do need to plan a stream together. Absolutely. Oh yeah. One time when I was in my early 20s, I started bawling at my mom's house because I thought she didn't like me because I thought she thought that I was just like my dad. And I was like 6 beers in and the floodgates opened and I ended up sitting on the side of her house, snot balling. You know, those kind of like I was snot balling in self-pity. Yeah. Linky wants to come say hi.
What's up?
We got Rosie D, we got Merk, we got Mama Kenny, we got Ashley, we got Diana on here, we got Nicole.
Rosie D.
Yeah, say hi. Tell them something.
Welcome, viewers. What should I tell
Always got something to say until you're put on the spot.
them? Yeah.
I just told them how I thought what happened to you was my fault.
And I heard you.
Oh, you did? Is that why you came out?
Yeah.
You got a hair on your nose.
Maybe it's chronic.
Ew. Are you talking about Nicole coming on my channel this time, Merk?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Rosie says, hello, sweetie.
Hi, Rosie.
Sitting in silence. We're talking about self-pity right now. Oh, I thought because of my parents' divorce, this is the examples I had to give again. Because of my parents' divorce, and then I had to live with my grandma in a trailer, and then I moved to Michigan, I thought I was destined to be a failure my whole life. Like my dad. Then it goes on. So we're going to cut it off here at 12. I got to get up early in the morning, but I will be back here at 8 o'clock tomorrow. And it will be the family recovery. We'll have the wife and Linky joining us, where we will talk about recovery. And then I will find another thing of AA literature or NA literature. Either one doesn't matter to me. And we will break it down just like we broke it down tonight. We will have a special guest. We will have recovery all week. You can go to Nicole's channel at 7 o'clock her time, which is Eastern. And I don't know what James is doing. I don't know if he's going to pop on all. I know Nicole and I will be on all week. So she'll probably go for a couple hours until her voice runs out. And then I'll pick up right at 8 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And I'll just go until my head starts hurting like it does right now. And I got to go to bed and everybody gets bored. Isn't that what I mean? Any last comments you guys want to throw up there? We can talk for a second before I
Any questions?
head off and sign off and go to bed. Is there a chunk of AA literature that you want to break down like we did how it works today? If he's wanting to hear something. Thank you, Rosie. We will have a blessed night. You as well. I don't know. Let's see. What do we got as far as AA literature? AA anonymity. Oh, surrender. We can talk about surrender. We can talk about the 12 traditions.
Steps.
The preamble. We could talk about the preamble. Declaration of Unity. Maybe we could start breaking down. What did Merck say? Have a good night. Good night, Mama. Merck said, let's get a 3-way meeting one of these days. Nicole, James, and you. Oh, that would be cool. I'll text James right now and see if he's awake.
That sounds like a really good idea.
Whose channel? Doesn't matter. I'm going to text Sober James right now and see if he answers. He might be in bed. He lives way out there in the east somewhere. So wait, we'll see if he writes back. That's a great idea, Mark. Three-way talking. So I don't know if you've noticed my style. I like to get into literature and I like to break things down and to meditate on them. So I hope that we can meditate tonight on how it works. And I'd like to end the night by reading this one more time, just to get it ingrained in our heads a little bit deeper. Rarely, I'm going to go with what Alan said, never. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. We didn't even talk about how simple it is. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those, too, who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorder, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. All right, y'all. You guys have a great night. Stay sober, stay strong, work your program.
Stay handsome or beautiful.
Stay handsome and beautiful. And remember that we recover better together. All right. Good night, everybody.